Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Math and Silly Hats. Today we're going to be solving a proportion with x in the numerator. Let's get into it. We're asked to solve a proportion in the form x over a equals b over c. That's just a longhand way of saying x is in the numerator. They give you what looks like a very difficult problem. Since we have a variable, we'll have some multiplication or division, and we have fractions. These are like your three least favorite things. Some presents indeed for the holidays. But we have a couple of ways of solving this. So let's go over the first explanation. They give you, this is my least favorite of those two explanations. In the first explanation, they ask you to use cross products. In other words, cross multiplication. My issue with this is that when students learn this skill, they often apply it in situations where it does not apply, such as when we're adding or subtracting two fractions, or even dividing two fractions, none of which situations this is appropriate. So I don't like this method, but I will show you how to use this method second. The method I prefer is the algebraic solution. And that just means what's going on to you. It's being divided by 6. Well, let's use the opposite operation and multiply each side by 6. So once we've multiplied 6 by both sides, the 6 in the numerator and denominator cancel, and we're left with just u. On the other side, we multiply 6 by 3 and get 18 divided by 9. Well, 18 divided by 9 is 2. And we have our solution, u equals 2. So let's use this method of solution first. Here we have this equation. I'm going to first put this in whiteboard.fi, and I recommend you do the same so we can show our work. I'm going to insert math with this square root symbol. My equation was x / 9. Then I'm either going to click to the right or hit the right button, equals 4 / 12. Now we need to do opposite operations to try to isolate our variable. Remember, our goal is to find the value of x, right? So we look at this division and we say the opposite operation of division is multiplication. I'm going to multiply each side by 9. Now on the left, when I multiply something by 9 and divide by 9, because those are opposite operations, the 9s will cancel and I'll be left with just my x, which is of course my goal. So I'll have x equals. On the right, I multiplied this fraction by 9. Now this is the same as multiplying by 9 over 1, because we can always divide by 1 without changing something's value. When we do this, it makes it clear what we're multiplying by 9. We're going to multiply the numerator 4 by 9, and the denominator won't change. We're simply multiplying it by 1. All right, so this is our next step. Now let's simplify. 4 times 9 is 36. Of course, 12 times 1 is 12. So our x is equal to 36 over 12. Of course, we want to simplify that. 12 goes into 36 3 times. So our solution should be x equals 3. Now let's check our work. Our original equation was x over 9 equals 4 over 12. Now we believe x is equal to 3. So let's see what that's equal to. Well, 3 goes into 9 3 times. So we can say this is the same as 1/3 on the left. Now is that equal to 4 over 12? Well, 4 goes into 12 3 times. So that's equal to 1 over 3. So these two are equivalent, and we know that our solution is correct. X is equal to 3. Let's do one more. 2 over 8 is equal to what over 12? So again, we're going to do the same setup. Here's our equation from ALEKS. Now, of course, here we're trying to solve for u. So we want to get u by itself. U is being divided by 12, so we're going to do the opposite operation. We're going to multiply each side by 12. We multiply something by 12 and divide it by 12. Those 12s cancel since those are opposite operations. So on the right, we'll just have u. On the left, we'll have 12 times 2 over 8. Again, if it's unclear to you what we'll be multiplying the 12 by, just do me a favor. Divide this by 1. Dividing by 1 doesn't change the value, and now we can see 12 will be multiplying the numerator 2. 12 times 2 is 24. Obviously, 1 times 8 is just 8. So now we have 24 over 8 is equal to u. Now I'd like to simplify this. 8 goes into 24 3 times. So this is simply just 3. We believe our solution is just u equals 3. Again, good practice to check our work before we hit that submit button. So let me put that back into my initial equation. So we believe u was equal to 3. Let's try substituting that and make sure that this is a true statement. Well, 2/8, 2 goes into 8 4 times, so we know that's just the same as 1/4. On the right, 3 goes into 12 4 times, so that's also the same as 1/4. And we know that these are equal, so our solution is correct. Now that I've solved two problems with my preferred method of solution, the algebraic method, since this is more widely applicable, let's look at the shortcut method that ALEKS also recommends as an option. That's cross multiplication or finding the cross product. Now, when they recommend finding the cross product, what they're going to do is they're going to look at the numerator of the left and the denominator of the right, multiply those two. They'll look at the denominator of the left and the numerator of the right, multiply those two. And you see they've color coded them here. We'll get 2 times 12 is 24, 8 times u is 8u, and divide each side by 3. Now, this is mathematically the same thing as we're doing. My caution here is that this isn't applicable anytime you see two fractions. So be careful with this one. But let's do an example with this method. Here we're asked to find y. We're given 5/10 is equal to y over 6. 5/10 is equal to y over 6. Now you'll have to forgive my sloppy handwriting. I can't insert equations in different colors, so I'm going to be color coding with my marker tool. So we want to look at the numerator on the right and the denominator on the left, and we're going to be multiplying those two. And then we'll be looking at the numerator on the left and the denominator on the right and multiply those two. So this would become 5 times 6 equals y times 10. Again, we had 5 times 6 equals y times 10. And some of you may have done this in middle school. Again, just because this kind of looks neat, I do caution you that this won't always work for each type of fractions problem you see. So be wary. Now let's simplify. 5 times 6 is 30. Y times 10 is just, well, 10y. Let's reorder those. But 10 is the coefficient of y. Now we want to know what y is. It's got this 10 in front of it. So let's do the opposite operation. Let's divide each side by that 10 in front of y. The reason that works is because we had been multiplying y by 10, opposite operation, division. We'll cancel the 10s and just be left with y. So 30 divided by 10 is equal to y. And of course that simplifies to 10 goes into 30 3 times, y is equal to 3. I believe this actually took me more steps than the last type of solution, so a couple of reasons not to go with this one, though this may be visually appealing. Now let's, just like last time, check our solution to make sure that this is correct. My original equation was 5 over 10 is equal to y over 6, and we believe y is equal to 3. Let's check to confirm that that's correct. On the left, 5 goes into 10 2 times, so that's the same as 1 over 2. On the right, 3 goes into 6 2 times, so that's also equal to 1 over 2. So we know that the two sides are equal, we have a true statement, and that y is equal to 3. So either of these methods of solution work. Sometimes my preferred method of solution, the algebraic method, is fewer steps. But some of you may be familiar with this from middle school. Again, just be wary. Don't apply this when you say you have addition, because this will not work with cross multiplication. If you go to do this when you see addition, you will absolutely get every one of those problems wrong. Whereas if you use algebra, by the way, this class is algebra, that will always work. Hopefully this has been helpful and that now you can solve these proportions in either of the two ways mentioned here. Have a great day, everybody, and Festivus for the rest of us. Bye-bye!